So we're going to pull a clutch today, and this was kind of a boo-boo clutch, but there's no such thing as a boo-boo clutch when the eggs are fertile. But we had a male in there, and I don't know, either we missed the ovulation or thought it was still coming, but the male shouldn't be in there when the female lays. But in most cases it isn't a big catastrophe, especially in a large cage like this. In a small cage it could be a problem because the male could be coiling up on the heat and she could be coiling up in the heat, and they get the eggs roll all over the place. So this case we pulled it off, we got lucky. A boo-boo was only a boo-boo, but not on, but it worked out fine. We're going to try to take this female out and try to get this. We'll just take this male out too so we can do our thing here. You want to grab that, Armando? Of course, males you want to be a little careful of when they're in breeding season, because they can bite you and actually cut you. Unlike during normal season, they usually won't. Saw that one egg rolled around there. So she actually held these eggs a little over. I can tell because they're a little bit rough and sandpapery, which usually means they held them a while, and they don't stick together very well when they're like that. So this isn't going to be a normal clutch in any stretch of the imagination, but they usually do good. Trying to get her away from them might be a little bit more than I want to tattle with. So I'm going to just keep pulling them away as long as I can. Yeah, she's... Come on, girl. There's 2 infertiles. So they're not... This is kind of one of the clutches you got to be kind of careful with because they're... Because the eggs got to stay the same position, so this is really tough. That's why they glue together in the first place, so that when they're positioned, when they're glued together, normally they're glued in a position to hold their position. And because these are not sticking together, they don't have any positioning. So if I'm just pull the snake off, they'll roll all over the place, and that'll make the eggs probably not hatch. So I got to carefully try to see if I can get some eggs off of her without rolling them around. Luckily, she's not a real mean female, which most of them aren't mean when they're not on eggs, but when you take their eggs away, it's usually not good. See, I can see an egg rolling around right there. Exactly what I don't want to do. That one has a reference point, a little bit of paper on the bottom of it. I don't want to bleed, so I want to be careful here. So when you have a snake like this, you got to be really careful. You may even have to pull the snake away, otherwise you'll be endangering yourself too much. Now, of course, I've done this for a long time. Which means nothing. I can still get chewed on as good as anybody else, but I have a little better understanding what the female's thinking. And I know that sounds funny, but you actually get a feel for what they're thinking. When a snake looks at you, you know what, you can read their eyes a little bit. Kind of like a prize fighter knows when somebody's going to take a swing and when they're not, without any movement. Ugh. So I'm going to keep pulling these eggs and try to keep the position that I think they're coming out. Some of them are stuck together. Some of them aren't. Nice clutch, nice big clutch. It'll be yet to be seen how the hatch rate goes, because they're rolling. Some of them are rolling around. I can only prevent what I can prevent. Boy, she's doing a good job of hanging on to him, but she's being nice about it. Those are obviously been rolled over. Come on, girl. They got paper on the bottom, so I know they're on the bottom. So now she's starting to think twice about what I'm doing. See, so I gotta try to keep her thinking of something else besides eating me. Looks to me like we didn't have enough. I don't have enough room in this box. A little clump that's going to be stayed the right direction. Little paper reference right there. Paper reference on that one. So that was a very good clutch, except the fact that it's been the way that they are makes it a little bit difficult. We don't know how we'll do on the actual incubation part of it. I'm sure groups like this don't even do well in the wild. So we got a pretty good sized clutch here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 40, 44, 44, 45 eggs. So I'm going to take those, put them in the incubator, and hope for the best, even despite the fact that there's some rolling around going on, and it's real critical in that. So anyway, one more thing you guys can learn. So when they're all detached like that and they're scratchy, that usually means they've been held a couple days too long, and the success rate of hatching is a little lower probably because of rolling them around. Boy, that's a heavy box. Because they typically, when they're smooth, they all glue together. So that glue is gone and is just balled up with little beads on it, and they don't stick together. So this clutch will be different than the rest of the incubator, but good luck, guys, and if you get a clutch like that, do what I did. Try to pull the eggs individually, be careful, don't get bit. Hope you enjoy the videos. I'm off to the incubator.